Chapter 1. Ashes in Silk. Lira. The velvet on this chair probably costs more than my first car. I don't sit back in it. I perch, spine straight, knees crossed, ankle flexed like a knife ready to slip beneath a tablecloth. If he sees my nerves, he wins. And men like him don't just win. They consume.
Miss D'Angelo.
The voice across from me says, low and deliberate.
You're early.
He doesn't offer his name, just the sound of leather as he sits, legs wide, owning the silence between us. Of course he doesn't need to introduce himself. I already know who he is. Nico Vitale, the man who burned down my uncle's warehouse, with 5 people still inside. The man whose organization bleeds my city dry. The man my father once called a rabid dog, and now wants me to leash. I smile, small, civil, controlled. You set the time, I say. I assumed punctuality was part of the agreement. He huffs a laugh. It's not warm. It's not anything.
This isn't an agreement yet.
Nico says.
Just a proposition. One you're not in a position to decline.
There it is, the first crack of the blade. No sugar, no pleasantries. He's not here to woo. He's here to cage. I glance down at my fingers, twisting the onyx ring around my middle knuckle. A habit I should have broken years ago. But it helps me think. Helps me calculate. So propose, I say. I'm listening. He leans forward, one hand on the table, his knuckles are bruised. There's blood dried under the thumbnail. No effort to hide it.
My crew was ambushed 3 nights ago. Someone knew their route, knew who to take out first. That information came from someone close to your father.
I raise an eyebrow. And do you think it was me? He smirks.
I think it doesn't matter.
My stomach tightens, not in fear, in recognition. This is how power plays start. Not with proof, but with leverage. Nico continues.
Your father has debts. Your family's reputation is worth less than the ink on its birth certificate. But you're interesting.
How flattering.
You were top of your class at Yale, studied international law, fluent in 3 languages, rumored to have buried a federal investigation with 1 phone call and a silk scarf.
I blink. That's accurate. He leans closer.
So when I say I need a D'Angelo at my table to keep the peace, and not the kind that wears Armani and disappears during real decisions, you understand what I mean.
I cross my arms. You want me to be your pet diplomat?
No.
He says.
I want you to be my fiancé.
Silence crashes like thunder between us. The room, gold trim, mirrored walls, opulence for show, feels suddenly too small. My pulse kicks against my collarbone. My father didn't mention this. He said alliance. He said presence. He didn't say bride. Absolutely not, I say, voice steady even as my fingers dig into my arms. You don't get to drag my name through blood and then chain me to yours.
It's not real,
Nico says, finally reclining like a wolf satisfied with the trap.
Not legally, not publicly, just long enough for the dust to settle and the vultures to turn on someone else.
And if I say no? He looks at me, really looks, like he's reading my heartbeat through my skin.
Then I take your father's remaining assets, torch your family's last safe house, and make sure no one ever says the word D'Angelo again unless it's in a eulogy.
My blood runs cold, but I don't flinch. This isn't the first man who's tried to corner me. It's just the first one who didn't pretend to be civil while doing it. I reach into my purse, pull out a folded envelope, and slide it across the table. He pauses, opens it. Inside is a single word typed on custom stationery in serif ink. Yes,
You already agreed.
he says, eyes flicking up. There's something unreadable in his face. Not triumph, something colder. I was always going to, I say. I just wanted to hear the terms from your mouth. He doesn't smile, he nods. Once. And that's how I know the game has begun.
Stay tuned for Chapter 2 of The Rose and the Blade by Nyx Raine. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories.